Hi. Right, so YouTube, and it's interesting. I was making this video about YouTube, and there's this little sort of authoritarian sort of rectangle in my top chat, trying to give me grief. Okay, so what I want to talk about YouTube is that the way they've changed it. They've tried to sort of like streamline it. Now, on the surface, you think, oh, well, yeah, that sounds like a great thing, you know, let's streamline YouTube, make it more user friendly, and for people that want to make videos and stuff. And so, what they've basically done is they've stopped it being a place where people that don't want to make videos or haven't got the capacity to make videos can't have a channel that makes it sort of like it's worth anything. I don't know how they managed to do it. It's very subtle what they've done. It's like if I try to sort of say in words what they've done, it doesn't really. It's hard to make sense out of it. But they've just kept changing it a little bit. You know, every few weeks or months they would change it a little bit, and basically they've wheedled out people that weren't proper users, people that made videos. Now, when I first started off, I didn't make videos. It took me a while to learn to make videos, you know. But now they've made it so that if you want to start a channel, you really need to be make videos. It's hard to explain this because if you put it into words, it doesn't seem to make sense. You know, this is the way that the system works. You know, this is the way that. See, I've found this out, and it's just one of those things. It's like our language is not designed to talk about this stuff, you know. And I just can't be bothered to try and use the elaborate language that I would need to use to try and explain what's going on. Because I'll have to use 3 times as many words as I should be able to use, you know, to say what's going on, and it's just not worth it, you know. If people haven't got the attention span to hear what I'm saying anyway, and not enough people to make a difference, you know. And if they try to tell other people, those people haven't got the attention span, so it'll just peter out. You know, you can try to. This is how the system works. It's designed so that if you try to tell the truth, right, what happens is that your words are so difficult for other people to understand that the message peters out and it gets garbled, and people misunderstand it, and then they kill you. I mean, that's quite close to the truth, you know. It might not be 100% the truth, but it's pretty much quite close to the truth, you know. As far as I can tell. Did you hear that? Oh, I heard that. Yeah, so it's like it's funny. We just had the new moon, and I just sort of like over the new moon. It's like I've seen some amazing stuff in my mind. You know, I just sort of like coddled together certain kind of like anti-paradoxes. I don't know the proper expression. I haven't got a proper word, you know. It's the problem with the English language. I want a word to express the meaning of anti-paradox, the opposite of a paradox, where everything just fits together, you know, in such a totally harmonious way that it's irrefutable, you know. And I don't think that there's no set of words in English language that you can use. You can say perfect, but it's such a cliche. The word perfect is such a cliche. People understand the word in all sorts of different ways. It doesn't make any difference if you use the word perfect. You know, it just meh. You might as well say yellow or orange or something. You know, just a different color. You know, it doesn't like say what people mean by perfect. When they say perfect, it's like 10 or 15%, you know. But what I want to say is more like 90 or 95%, you know, maybe even 100%, you know. And when other people say perfect, it's like I feel that what they're talking about is like 10% or 15%. Maybe 20% sometimes, or even 25%, but not 100% or 80 or 90%, you know, or 70%. They just don't know what they're talking about. They're ignorant. They're dumbed down. They're stupid. They're like living in a dream world. Neo. So, where was I? Oh yeah, yeah. So they won't even look at the truth, you know, and you can't get them to see the truth. You know, and you're talking sort of like well, at least 80% of people. Let's be conservative and say 80%. You know, or is that liberal? Whatever. I lose track of these things. Maybe liberal. Let's pretend we're the nice guys and say 80%, rather than 95% of people that are just, or 99% of people that are completely blind to what's going on. And that even seems to me like a sort of generous sort of estimate. It's more like 99.99999% of people that haven't got a clue what's going on. And that's only a guess, you know. It's probably a lot less than that. I don't know. It's like, yeah, where do you begin? In my videos, right, what I've noticed is that sometimes, even a lot of the time, I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. So let me just start at the beginning. I haven't got a clue what's going on. I don't know who I am or what I'm doing. Now, to me, this is a good start, and you ought to know this. I mean, my regular viewers ought to know that you know, I'm a great fan of Socrates. Socrates was a huge. He's a really important philosopher. He's like the grandfather of philosophy. You know, he's the main man. He's the original philosopher, and all this computer stuff that we've got has basically come from philosophy. And the internal combustion engine, all the people that come up with this stuff, they were all philosophers. You know, your mobile phones, your television, your computers, they all come from philosophers. So you ought to be more interested in these sort of people, you know. And Socrates, he used to say that we shouldn't have the written word. And that's a really hard one to sort of sell to people, because you think, well, we couldn't have computers without the written word, right? And I'd say, yeah, probably not, no. What would we do without computers, you know? See, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. So I'm not going to tell you. Not in this video, anyway. The other things about Socrates, you know, he was a great descendant, a dissenter of the written word. He hated the written word, and look where it's got us. I mean, I'm drinking alcohol. It's like, why wouldn't I? I'm very aware of what's going on, right? People with the written word are destroying the planet. They're creating a man-made mass extinction event. You know, cheers. I try making videos about this. I try talking about it. Nobody wants to know what's going on. You're all just too busy destroying the world. You're so adamant you have to destroy the world in a real hurry, you know. Okay, so things like the other thing I want to talk about with YouTube, it's not just YouTube. It's like people are being forced into a way of living where they are using up all the minerals in the earth, all the earth's resources, and they're quickly making the world uninhabitable. You can't notice it right now because we haven't reached the very end of all our resources yet. But in the meantime, the way we're going, and I'm not the first person to say this, it's like I'm almost dying of boredom talking about this. It's like I'm trying to keep myself alive, like through like taking breaths and taking vitamins and minerals to try and tell you people that, you know, you're destroying your home, you know, the very home that you depend on to live in on, you're destroying it. And once you've done that, then you will not be here anymore. Where will you be after that? Well, according to the Bible, which has been passed down to us from the most apparently wisest people that ever lived, Sheol, you know, Sheol, nowhere, you know. So I've just been reading this book, you know, I've already mentioned this. Yeah. The Neutronium Alchemist by Peter Hamilton. So in there's a talk about what's going on here. Is nobody watching my videos? How do I get rid of this little fucking thing? Probably can't do anything about it. So yeah, the Neutronium Alchemist. Apparently, when you die, there's nothing. It's like Nowhere Land. Ah. I've got an idea. I'm just going to do something. It's going to be really fun. Watch this, right? It just takes a few minutes to sort out. We're just angels. Right, this should be fun. That looks like about right. Let me just have a look. No, that's not quite right, is it? Look at that. That's about right. Okay. You'll like this. That's the stuff. Okay, so that was some pranayama for mountaineering. Okay, so I put my shirt on back to front. It's still the new moon, I suppose, so not expecting many watches at the moment. So that was Aleister Crowley's mountaineering pranayama exercises. Now, I've done those before, and I found that they're really useful. For example, if you want to climb a mountain, if you do them in the morning, I mean, to me, it's a late afternoon or early evening. I haven't done them for a very long time. But I've been meaning to do them on video. I just thought I might as well do them now. I'm feeling sort of like quite up for it. I tried to find these exercises on the internet, like for years, and I couldn't find them. I couldn't see the pictures. I'll show you them again. I mean, obviously I just done them, so I don't know if that's I don't know exactly right or anything. I'm just sort of guessing. Oh shit! Where did my thingies go? Oh, there they are. Oh, right. Okay. Right. So. So that was a bit of fun. Now, what happened with those exercises is that when I first started working, I was working in a book warehouse, and it was about 5 miles from where I lived. 5 or 6 miles. Probably only 4 miles, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, 3.5, 4 miles. Um, so I used to ride there on my push bike. I had quite a decent sort of push bike, a racer, and what I found is that if I'd done my pranayama exercises for 5 minutes before I left my work to go home, I would get home in about 5 minutes. But if I didn't do them, it would take 15 minutes. So if I'd done a pranayama exercises before I left work to go home, or in the morning, to go to work, I would get there like 10 minutes quicker. So I could actually just wait for 5 minutes, and then do my pranayama exercise for 5 minutes, and then leave home or work, and I would still get there at the same time as if I hadn't done the exercises and left straight away. So I'd save 5 minutes or stuff, even 10 minutes, So that's how useful they are, I can already feel it. It's almost like you sometimes you do something and you feel like you're twice the person that you was. Like it's like a bit like when you take modafinil. It's like taking modafinil, but without any like drugs, or there's no like symptoms, after effects or anything. Although I'm not going to say that 100% because when you lift up your this is another thing about why people don't do the work. I think that a lot of the reason why people don't do the work is because they have got a good intuition that tells them that bad things will happen if they do the work. It's like, that's probably what it is, It's one of these things that I've noticed that because of the way we've been programmed, it's like we're all competitive. That's the thing I was going to mention about YouTube. Oh, just reminded me. Oh, I wish there was somebody watching that could remind me what I'm talking about. Anyway, about YouTube, it's like they've dumbed it down, or they've streamlined it, right, and it's made it more competitive. So it's just not the fun place. It's like a divide and conquer thing. It's very subtle. Oh, look, we've just made it more streamlined and more user friendly. That's how they're going to say it. They're going to say they've made it more user friendly. But what that means is like divide and conquer. Every man for themselves. It's a rat race. That's what it really means. Whereas before, when YouTube started out, it really was user friendly. And now they made it more user friendly. But it was already user friendly. It was perfectly user friendly. That's why it was so popular. So then Google Plus took over and made it even more user friendly. Even more user friendly. Yeah. So the perverts could grope you, That's how much user friendly. They made it more user friendly. So all the perverts and demonic monsters could grope your genitals while you didn't want them to. They could rape you, That's how user friendly they made it. Even more user friendly. Yeah. So now we've got to somewhere, it's like a sort of like wasteland, Nobody wants to hang out here anymore. Nobody wants to watch your videos. You can't make any friends. There's a few superstars out there just, you know, just sort of like hogging all the airtime. And all the normal people, the real people, all just been like made into like fertilizer. Compost. We've been made into compost. What's the fucking point in making? Why would I bother making these videos? I'm fucking fed up with this shit. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. See you on the other side or something. Oh yeah, and do the work and make your own videos. I'm fed up with this shit. I want to see someone else making videos about the work. You know.